with beating the Ravens as the Browns' goal, how does our offense, personnel, and scheme match with the Ravens' defense? How will our offense attack Baltimore's? Could Odell Beckham Jr. or Donovan Peoples-Jones be secret weapons? So, Scott, I'm going to let you have the floor here. And when putting that story together, what did you learn comparing specifically the Ravens' defense to the Browns' new-look offense?
Well, I think if you think the Browns have questions at linebacker, you haven't seen the Ravens yet, because the Ravens have some questions too. They lost their best linebacker in free agency, whose name escapes me at the moment. I can't think of it. Anyways, they drafted Patrick Queen, not noted for his coverage skills, but he is one of the top linebackers in the draft. And then they got Malik Harrison, who can cover. I believe he was a fourth rounder. You got LJ Fort, who's still there. So there's some question marks. You don't know. And then you got a Browns team who now is going to feature multiple tight ends and have them be a bigger part of the offense. So that's one way that maybe the Browns end up finding ways to attack the Ravens, because Earl Thomas can cover somebody, and one of their linebackers can, but sooner or later you're going to run out of people. There's a spot for Kareem Hunt to weasel in there and get a matchup problem. So the Browns now, I think, have more of those potential matchup issues than they had in the past. And knowing that the Ravens are trying to figure things out, not really a linebacker. They also redid their defensive line. Now they've brought in some talent there, but I think this isn't the Ravens defense that we saw a couple years ago. It's still going to be good. It's still the Ravens, but they're still trying to figure things out too. And if everything goes off as planned and that week 1 game happens as scheduled, the Ravens are going to be trying to figure things out too. So there's the opportunity there, I think, for the Browns to take advantage of things.
It seems defensively, they just always seem to find a way, I mean, it's like, it seems like that with the Steelers too. They lose these big name guys, I mean, they say goodbye to the CJ Mosleys and the Terrell Suggs and some of their big name guys, and they just keep kind of funneling them through. And they don't have to have big names, but they draft so well. These clubs draft so incredibly well that they find guys to plug in there. And before you know it, there's 4 new stars on that defense that nobody ever really heard of before. So, even though Ozzy's really not in charge of the drafting anymore, I think they're still very, very strong. I think they have got a really solid, strong system. And you just cannot put anything past them and their amazing coach, John Harbaugh. And so I expect big things out of that defense again.
Josh Bynes is who I was thinking of. Josh Bynes. He was their top linebacker last year. He's gone. They have some questions to answer there.
Yeah, and when you look at the Ravens, and I wrote about this before my furlough week, the recipe is out. And where I think Browns fans can find some comfort is that the Tennessee Titans ran wide zone, which is what the Browns are going to be trying to do, and they broke the Ravens' defense with play-action pass. So I think they're in the second quarter there, that 44-yard touchdown really was the nail in the coffin when it came to in terms of momentum. And that's how I see this Browns offense striking this year. It's going to be wide zone, run the ball, underneath passing, but when the chance is there, they're going to hit deep with a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. And then I like that this insider listed Donovan Peoples-Jones as a guy who, Odell's going to get the double coverage. Jarvis isn't necessarily your field stretcher. Well, let's put the rookie out there and exploit a one-on-one coverage guy. And they've got other guys that can go deep too. The Titans guy, I can't even remember his name right now. I honestly don't even know if he's on the roster. Point is, when you get behind a secondary in one-on-one coverage, catch the ball. All these receivers can. So there's going to be chances to get behind the Ravens secondary, despite it being their strongest suit. I want to make that clear. I think Jimmy Smith's like their third or fourth corner right now. So it's a talented unit. That's not what I'm saying. It's more about how they were exploited last year. And look, these teams aren't going to, you can say the Browns aren't going to have time to coach this offense up, but the Ravens defense, those same issues are going to probably be there, especially in week 1, like you said, Scott. So they're going to be figuring out, the Browns are going to be figuring out, and hey, maybe all it takes is a 1 or 2 deep shots to an Odell or Donovan Peoples-Jones to switch this up. So, all right, listeners, we're going to take a quick break.